All right. Good night. Oh, good night. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Well-Don Tank stream. I was about to say good night, everybody, but we're not going anywhere. We're just starting. So welcome back, everybody. It feels like it's been forever since we've sat down in this studio and live streamed. I don't know why. It's been a busy month, but we're here. We're live. We're going. We're rocking this. We're going to do this. Hopefully everything's running as it should be. We'll double check it over here. Make sure everything's muted up. Pull the chat up here. Hopefully my internet run. Like I say, we made some upgrades to the internet side. I'm hoping to stop the buffering live streams, but I still need to make sure my family's got their time. But yes, hello everybody. Yeah, it's gonna be a good night. So starting off really quick, and how I titled this video, it's kind of a fun play. As of right now, we are 6 subscribers away from hitting 3,000 subscribers. So that's why I entitled it Love You 3000, because I am confident we are going to hit the 3,000 in this live stream. Just like we did in the 2000 when we hit 2,000. I remember that live stream. It's crazy to me that we came from 2,000 to 3,000. Like there's just, you hit these numbers, right? And like, for me, it's literally like I watch them go up and I get humbled by every subscriber I get. But then it's like, oh my gosh, there's 3,000 people that can get past certain attributes of mine and want to talk fish with me. That's so cool. So I did have a good conversation with my wife of, I definitely owe all of you. I have a responsibility to my viewers, to all of you who are part of this, to make this as beneficial for all of you as I can. So we are 6 subscribers away. So go make fake email accounts, whatever you need to do, pay somebody. Let's get there. Let's hit the 3,000 tonight. I think we can do it. It was awesome. We got some great people coming in. We'll definitely get going here. So other Tiffany, hello. Travis is here. Lara's here. Trevor, thank you for being here. Trevor, so I feel like I talk about Trevor a lot, but when he's kind of had these milestones with me, I just shipped the largest shipment to Trevor from the waterfront yesterday. Thankfully it arrived. Everything's good, looking good, and Trevor's tanks will look amazing. Got some beautiful fish, absolutely beautiful fish. So everybody who has supported us on our journey of the waterfront raised, waterfrontraised.com, thank you so much. First shipping day was yesterday, and as far as I know, every package was successful. We did 1, 2, 3, 4. So I think I know, how many did we do? I dropped off 2, 3 total shipments. And I know of 2 have made it. I'm waiting on that third one, but it went well. So we'll get into that here in a minute. But I want to keep welcoming some people here. I know we Hayden's hanging out with us. Rickistan, guys, if you have not checked out Rickistan's channel, that guy does some awesome interviews. And I was able to catch the beginning portion of his interview today with Mike's Aquatics and Things, I believe he was talking with. Really good interview. Rickistan's a good guy, and he interviews people very well. You definitely, you feel like you're there, part of it. So go check him out. Highly recommend that. Because your fish hanging out with us, I know he's got his fish room building going on there. Hello, Fins and Florida. Thanks so much for being here. Skeeps in the house. We got Sean. Riley, good to see you. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. All right, Daniel's here. Who am I missing? I was kind of chatting back and forth with some people. And we got a few people coming in. Blake Adams is here. Mountaintop Puffer Keeper, B.A. Carrie's here. Lab's here. Misfit Reptiles, Black Little Carling, Chattanooga Ed, Cancer Train. Patrick, Chris is here. Yes, Chris's order arrived safely. I think that was the last one I needed to know about. That's fantastic. Oh, that makes me feel good. Makes me feel good that I packed things appropriately, and they got everywhere they needed to go. So everything you got, I was the one that did the packing on them. Stefan was helping me with like labels, making sure I was pulling the right things. So we got them packed, got them out, and that's awesome. That's such a relief now that I've heard from every individual that has ordered from us, and everything's good. That's so nice. Yes. Such a good feeling. All right. Where are we going? What are we doing here? All right. 5 away. Whew! I think we're going to get it. We are 5 away from 3,000. So if you're wearing headphones, I will try and give you like a brief warning to pull them out real quick before I scream. You know, it's success, but we'll get there. We're getting there. But all right, what are we doing tonight? Tonight is definitely a major thank you to all of you. With 3,000 subscribers, that's a massive number. And that's a number I thought I would never see when we started this channel. I know Jarhead Entrepreneur came in here. We got Sharon joining us. Thank you for being here. I don't think I missed anybody, but it's exhilarating. It's exhilarating to see where we started, where we are, and where we're going too. Like, that's the fun part is I kind of have a roadmap, have you call it, of like where the next steps are I want to take with the channel. Waterfront raised, next fish room, just kind of all these things I want to do there. But Jarhead says he's chasing 1K, 51 to go. So if you guys go show Jarhead some love, I'd be sweet if we could boost Jarhead to 1K and peak 3,000 all in the same stream. So, but Jarhead, do not give up, man. It is a grind, but as long as you enjoy what you're doing, do not give up. And I honestly think that I probably would have hit 3K a couple days ago. And I'm going to say thank you for everybody's support. My community post and my Instagram post was probably very extremely controversial. And I purposely did block out names and different things. But my intentions were not to go after somebody. I think more of my intention was to rally the community behind Justin, because I want people to watch videos and get the information they're looking for. So I know I lost a few subscribers, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay, because now people understand who I am. We're getting there. We're definitely gonna get there. But it's yes, it was interesting watching the fluctuations, but it would definitely, the support was monumental, and I appreciate all of you for that. It was had some rough bumps in the road this last week, but then you get, yes, every YouTuber you're gonna get negative comments. Like that's absolutely, like every YouTuber is gonna get negative comments, different things, but it's sometimes there's those ones where like, ouch, that was really personal, and maybe I did take a little bit of offense, but I okay. Anyways, Chattanooga Ed, I'm 950. We gotta get Chattanooga Ed up there. Are you really not 1,000 yet, Chattanooga Ed? Live is aiming for 500. Let's get there. Oh, look at that. Look at all of us doing good things here on the platform. This is awesome to see here. We all started somewhere. Like I can vividly remember when I hit 100 subscribers. And that was like that moment of like, yes, let's go. Like we can do this. And now we get to share this with everybody else too. That like Lav's chasing it, Jarhead's chasing it, Chagrin is chasing it. I'm sure there's a few other people that are chasing it. Like that's awesome. It is absolutely awesome that we got these things going on there. So I think Black Little Carling is here. Hello. Am I missing? I wonder if I'm missing something. But all right. So it's been a grind. It's been so much fun, and I'm excited where we're going. So I do have things I want to talk about tonight. We'll definitely take some Q&A. We'll see how long we go, probably hour and a half, but it's, you know me. You guys can get me thrown off on tangents super fast, different things going on, but I definitely, yes, we'll take it there, but it's like HG Aquatics. I'm trying to get to 200. Don't stop. Like, don't give up on that. The fact is because you set a goal, you're going to now reach that goal. 200, that's a goal, right? You can reach that goal. Then your next goal, maybe it's 500. Then it's maybe 1,000 from there. You just keep going until you hit those goals there. Atkins Nature Aquarium is working, but he's lurking. I appreciate you being here, my friend. I truly do. Patrick says, I've been watching your video since last year. Just started making comments. Well, hopefully the information you've been bringing in from the year has been a positive influence of that. That's definitely what I'm out here to do. Where we at? 4 away. Whew. Man, I remember doing this with 2,000. Now we're coming up on 3K and we're 4 away. Oh, this is awesome. All right. Where are we at? What do I want to talk about? Let's see. I have ideas in my head I want to talk about, but I know that 3,000 is coming. And maybe I'm stalling. Maybe I'm not. I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to talk with everybody. Happy to see some good faces in the chat, people hanging out. Hopefully everything's good there. And I definitely want to say, so maybe we'll talk roadmap here for a minute. Because of your guys' support on the channel, I am starting to try branching out into some things. So one thing I want to do is eventually I want to get into like 3D printing. I really want to play with 3D printing, not a large scale, kind of a smaller scale. If you've watched Fish of Hex, I think he has like 30 printers, and majority of those are running 24/7. Like, he has built an awesome business along with Coral and Reefing and YouTube of 3D printed products. And it's really intrigued me. So that's one thing I kind of want to start playing with. Is I think there's things I want to play with, 3D printing items for fish tanks, aquariums, and that different thing, and to see what the mind can come up with, and see what other people come up with. So that's something I'm looking at. But it's also what was it going at? Lost my train of thought. Yeah, so 3D printing, it's a new thing to try. And I think as long as we're trying something, it's a positive thing to learn. It's like 3D printing, that's going to take some time to learn that. But I also think that's where personal growth comes in, positive growth comes in. Maybe I can 3D print some items and, sell them for super cheap, give somebody something. I don't know what it is yet. Like, if nothing else, I just want to try it. And 3D printers now, like, you can get like a decent one for $200, $250, like, not way expensive, but it's enough where it's like, okay, that's a decent purchase. But so that's kind of part of my roadmap. I want to play with it on the side of aquarium keeping to see if we can't come up with some different things. But then the other roadmap of this is I've actually I've reached out to a subscriber. I gotta sneeze. Excuse me. I won't say too much yet, but I've reached out to a subscriber of potentially an out-of-state fish room tour. And that's cool to me. That was cool that, one, he accepted my soft pitch of like, hey, like, if I came out there, and it's always one of the most awkward things you do. Like, can I come film your fish room? Like, how do you ask somebody that? Hey, man, can I come into your home as a complete stranger? But the only thing we have in common is we're both fish nerds, and I like to take pictures of fish in a glass box with water. So, like, is that okay with you? Like, can I show up and can we talk fish? Oh, by the way, can I film that? Like, it's your own home, yes, but like, can I come? How do you ask that? So he was very nice of soft pitched it, and I soft pitched it in a way of the breeding projects I've talked about with this individual are so fascinating to me that I am willing to drive out of state to go see this, film this, but it's like very beginnings. I still got to talk to the boss about it, the wife, see, maybe we make it a weekend trip or whatever else. But it was your support, all of your support, that's making things like that more probable for me, but also possible for me. Because it's driving, out of state, however far it is, there's a cost to that. I'm willing to do that, but it's how do I put it, of your support coming to me, hopefully in turn I can reinvest that and then bring you new things. So that's kind of the next part of that roadmap. Is I'm hopefully in like the next month going on like an out-of-state fish room tour, and that's cool. Like, that's something I haven't really done. Like, we did Cary. We drove out to Cary, and that was an awesome trip. That's probably what this is honestly stemming from, is that Reno trip to Cary to drop off the Oscar on their fish tour was so much fun. Then, kind of the next roadmap is waterfront and waterfront raised, and where we're going with waterfront raised, what it's doing, when it's already generated the buzz, the discussion, just leading into new things for the waterfront, where we're trying to just build on that, right? Make good things happen there. We're having discussions of what we want to put on the site, what we want to see for that, and we're trying to get new things on the site. Not every day, but I did just do kind of a big fish room dump of like, all right, I have so many fish in this fish room. and I have new fish coming, I need to rearrange, reorganize, move fish. And I started looking, I was like, okay, these can go, these can go, these can go. And all of a sudden it started moving into that I've got quite a few fish I can potentially get up on the site and do different things. So we put some things out there. So and then kind of the next portion of the roadmap is, and it kind of leads into what I want to talk about tonight, the other part of the title for the stream is me and my wife decided to sell our house this year. We're going to move and build a bigger fish room. Like, that's coming. We've talked about listing our house in the market in August and potentially. And right now, if the market stays the way it is, it may sell super fast. It's a very, very, very competitive market right now. But like, that's a huge portion of the roadmap. So like, all of you, we all need to tell my wife, thank you for letting us even do that, consider that. And already my mind, I'm like, what do I want to build this as? What do I want to plan this as? How do I want to do this? And this next fish room, I want it to be like the fish room, like the fish room of fish rooms, where not only does it just look good, it functions well. And I've learned a lot from building this current fish room and kind of what things I want to see. But I know chat's been cruising here. My wife just said we're one away. Heart starting to race again, getting the cold sweats. The mouth is going dry. I'm so nervous. All right. I'm going to catch up on chat here. If you're wearing headphones, maybe this is like your warning to pop them out there. But let's see here. I'm logging into all my Google accounts and subscribing for those long-awaited 3,000. Daniel, I appreciate it. That's fun. That is fun. Let's see here. Blake, I watched an older video of yours today. It was on the Guppy filter. Is that something you still have in that 55-gallon? Thoughts on it now, and have you had it a while? So I do not have that filter anymore. I actually don't have that tank anymore. That was before I moved into this house. I honestly don't know if that gentleman's even manufacturing that filter anymore. I can tell you, still tell you my experience about it. If you were able to reach a contact with him and find something of him personally, I would not buy it again. I would not. I'm very, very blessed, fortunate that we got in discussion. He allowed me to try it. After trying it, though, there are so many new filters on the market that if you were looking for a more internal filter, I would honestly tell you, look at something like the CJ Shark, which I still need to film a video on that, by the way. I've been using one now for a few months, kind of behind the scenes quietly. Some people may have seen it, but I haven't talked about it. I'll hands down say right now, the CJ Shark is one of the best internal filters. It's just a sponge filter with the power head on top of it, but it's done so well that I will pay the $30, $40 for it. That makes it so worth it. I also tried an internal Fluval one, which is a complete garbage. And we'll go into that and compare my thoughts on those. So with the Guppy filter, it was a really good idea. I just, after personally trying it, it didn't live up to its name. I can tell you the one thing that it did do was turn into a really good duckweed barrier where you could grow duckweed behind the filter and have it not push out. But then when it came time to actually service the pump, service any biomedia you had back there, it was impossible. It was so difficult to get my arm down there, unhook everything without pop. Like I popped the silicone off of it fairly quickly because I mean, I'm not a huge guy, but like apparently my arm's not designed to go down that crevice of a 55 and that filter without breaking the silicone. So it's good. It was a good thought. It was a good process, good idea. I just think that with the technology that advanced after I've done that, there's so many better options on the market for it right now. 3D printing on my future buy list. I've seen some cool stuff made with them. There's some awesome stuff you can do with 3D printing. Rick Stan, I got a resin 3D printer. Don't really do much with it other than make geek statues and busts. Yeah, I've got a coworker that's really interested in the resin printers. They're really cool. It's for that exact thing. She's really into creating figurines and statues, like her own game boards and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lot of the 3D printing stuff's pretty cool there. Travis, thank you. I wonder if we could get Lewis to, I don't know if we have any of these anymore. Maybe. We'll see though. Trevor got some awesome fish going to him. All right. Where we at here? Whatever that is, I bet it'll be another awesome video. That's in reference to one of my out-of-state fishing. But I hope if the out-of-state fishing tour happens, there's even more pressure on myself. Like, all right, it's not even the fact I'm going to drive X amount of hours, pay X amount of dollars. It's the fact of if I mess this up, I can't be like, hey, can you let me come out and film that one more thing again? Like, nope, one shot. And I definitely want to be, every time somebody lets me into their sanctuary, I want to give it the most respect I possibly can and show the world what they've done with respectfully, if that makes any kind of sense. But I guarantee you we are at the 3K. People were saying 3K. Let's check it out here. Did we get it? Oh, we are at 3,000. We did it. 3,000. 300. How do I show that? I mean, I'm sure you guys can see that, but how do I show that without showing off things like I always, in these huge monumental moments, I like to take a screenshot of it. 3,000. Yes. We did it, everybody. We did it. No, you know what? You all did it. That has nothing to do with me. That is all you. We have been grinding for this 3,000 for so long now. That's all of you made this possible, made this happen. Guys, we did it. We hit 3,000. In the words of Tony Stark, rest in peace, my man. I love you, 3,000. Yes, we did it. Oh, that's awesome. Now my Tourette's are going to start going crazy because I'm so hyped up and so excited for this. But 3,000 of you want to come talk fish with me. And how cool is that? We're not done yet. The next real big goal in my mind is that 5,000 mark. But guys, look at what we are starting to do with this. I'm just the nerd with the camera that thinks he can take fish pictures, but all of you make this happen. You decide to come watch my videos. You decide to come join the live streams. And hopefully that I can continue to be a positive influence for all of you. Because guys, this is us. We did it. We did it. 3,000. Yes. Oh, that's such a cool number. I don't know why I'm so amped up. Like 3,000. Oh, I remember hitting the 2,000 subscriber count on a live. Like, how cool is that? Back-to-back 1,000 marks. Both happened on a live stream. So thank you to everybody who shared this out, made new emails, whatever possible. Daniel says he was logging into all of his Gmail accounts. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. This is such a big goal of mine. Yeah, I keep saying 5,000 is the next big goal, but in my mind I kept telling myself that you reach 3,000 and there's nothing that can stop you. That's it's almost halfway to 10,000. It's that you get over that first little mountain, you get over that first little hump of 3,000. And there's nothing you can't do, Trent. Now that I'm starting to get into editing videos and filming and these different things, I'm actually talking with my wife and we're preparing to make a large investment into gear that I've studied very strategically to create better content. I've been really watching and focusing on how people film and how people do this. And I'm trying new things and it's scary. It's terrifying when I try something new. My wife was generous enough. I don't know when she's going to release it, but she let me film and edit a video for her. And it was the edit I did on it. I think she's honestly being nice and told me she liked it, but for me, it was I got to try something new. And I know that's scary for her because it's her channel and I want her to have success there and enjoy that. But as I'm trying these new things, it's terrifying because I know you get known for something, but then I'm at the point right now in fish keeping and content creating that I want more. Now it sounds so arrogant and so ungrateful, but it's not. it's more in the way of, I want to be better. I want to be the guy that people are like, hey, have you heard about that Moe crebensis fish? Like, oh no, what's that? Like, oh, check this out. Like, Well-Don tanks and waterfront rays, like they bred this fish, and like, dude, you gotta get some of these. Like, I want to be that guy of it's like the next fish room. I want the next fish room to be so well planned out, meticulously planned out. But then on the content side of things, when you, I don't know, are on your lunch break and you go, Well-Don Tank's posted a video, I want it to be like, well, this looks interesting. And then you start watching it and you're like, ooh, wow, yeah. Not like, oh, it was a good video. Like, I want you to walk away from the video. Like, there's going to be videos like, okay, film that, rushed it. He needed something to get out. But I want their videos to also be the, like, that was cool. Because I watch videos. Peter, which one just, there was which one recently? I was like, that was awesome. Like, that was so well done. I mean, According Co-op, Alpha Gaming, Peter McKinnon. I'm watching these other things, and it's fun to watch, like, because your fish and Lav and Rickistan and Chattanooga. Like, I watch these. Everybody I watch, I honestly try to find what made me so interested in that. And then I try and mimic it on a basis of complete respect for that content creator. And it's been fun to try new camera movements and motions and lenses and understand that. And that's why I'm grateful my wife let me film a food sequence for her. And I did it all on my phone, but it was fun to try new things. But guys, it's now I'm rambling. It's now 3,000. That's just the next like boost. Like, let's go. Let's do this. Yes. All right. Just jump into chat here. I'm sure it's cruising, but guys, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You all made this happen. That's so cool to see 3,000 subscribers. We are growing at an astronaut. Like, we are growing at a pace that I never thought was going to come. And it's for every other if you see, if the other individuals that are saying they have this goal to get to that, check out their channels. You may find something you like, but for those of you who are, if you've got a goal, don't stop. It's terrifying. It is terrifying to put yourself out there. And every time you click upload, I know the first thought you have is anybody going to watch this? Is anybody going to enjoy this? But remember, every view and comment you get, that's somebody enjoying that. And I'm so happy that I've got to create friendships for this. Like Black Little Carling, give me $5. Congrats on 3K. Carling, thank you so much, because we still talk about our experience with you when you drove out to our shop and the good time we had and the interaction we had. And that's what I've just enjoyed so much about this hobby in these live streams and videos. And it's so much fun. I get to interact with all of you. So thank you. I appreciate it. Sharon, congratulations. Thank you so much. Jarhead, congratulations. I appreciate it. We got Carrie's in here. Holly's Haven, hello. Congrats. Mountaintop Puffer Keeper dropping some confetti. Misfit Reptiles. Thank you. $25. Nice. Is that nicey? Congrats. You deserve every bit of it. Well, I thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Because I view it as, and my wife is correct, all of you deserve every bit of me that can get better. So that's my continued goal here. I definitely appreciate it. But it's Ricky Stan, thank you. I love that I got to be here for this. And your brother Guppy Guru's 3K last week too. That's right. Guppy Guru did hit the 3K last week, I think, on his live stream too. So that's awesome. And it's Rick Stan. Thank you, my man. Fist bump, if I may. I really appreciate it. Daniel says I can already see those 1 million subscribers. That's a goal. It's out there, right? Like anybody who starts a YouTube channel, like you're like, yeah, 1 million subscribers, like that'd be so cool. It's in the back of my mind, but it's there. Like we're not gonna stop because we are going on it. And I definitely Definitely. Thank you, Daniel. I appreciate it, Daniel. I hope I've answered your questions through email, and I always feel free to reach out to me. I'll help you any way I can there. The little well-done tank that could. You know what? I'm going to take it because we did it. We did it. Oh, it's all from you. Thank you so much. Atkins Intracorium. I'm sorry if I'm blowing up your workplace, but I appreciate the support and the congratulations. Definitely do appreciate it. Let's see here. 3,000. Looking forward to that one. Yep. So really quick, Thursday, if you haven't, feel free to check out my wife's channel. It's Living Well Done. Releasing a new video Thursday. She's the brains behind it. Don't get me wrong. She's the brains behind it. And she's much easier on the eyes than this ugly mug is. So check her out. I mean, she's doing good things with it. It's new for her, but she's doing good there. And my wife says, thank you also for being such a big part of our fish family and being so supportive of my husband. Thank you for sticking with him and not judge without the information, just being awesome. All of you guys are awesome. I definitely are awesome. Thank you so much. Cooper Aquatics coming in. Hello, good sir. All right. My goal is 100Ks. I want that silver play button more than anything on my wall. Jarhead, I agree. I agree because 100K is my first ultimate goal. How cool would that be to unbox a silver play button and be able to share that with all of you and hang it on the wall, right? But I'm going to take these little victories, these little wins, because this is a big win for us, guys. 3,000 subscribers. That's a big win for us. So 97,000 more, we're going to get that play button. But that means we got some grind to do. That means we got some videos to make. It means we got some content to create. But it also means that I get more time to learn and do great things. Guys, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. It's awesome. And Chris dropped me $5 too. Chris, thank you, my friend. You've been such a big supporter of me. Thank you so much. Congrats to the 3K. Guys, you guys are awesome. It's tumbling. It's awesome. So exciting. I'm never going to get over that. All right. Let's chat. That was fun. That was so much fun to do. That was so much fun to freak out there. I mean, we're 32 minutes in, and half of this is me freaking out about 3,000. I appreciate it so much, you guys. So we've kind of talked where we're going, a roadmap I want to do, right? And it's been. I'm very fortunate that my wife lets me do what I do. Now I keep fish and different things, and there's a lot of hours put into getting the waterfront raised ready. And it's not just me. It'd be cool to see if we could. That's 3,000 people that don't care what sounds you make. That's very true. Skip. It's very true. That's absolutely very true. And one day I do believe there's going to be those 100,000 people that don't care what sounds I make either. And I still, in the back end of everything, if somebody stumbles across a video and they hear me sniff, snort, whatever you want to say about it, and it gives them the courage to go, wait, he has 3,000 subscribers. I can do that too. Do it, go for it. And I think that was my ultimate goal with posting what I did is don't let fear stop you from doing what you want to do. You never know what you're going to be good at or what you're going to succeed at until you try. I've shipped fish through when I was on OFC to some fellow hobbyists. It's a whole nother level when I dropped off a package to the airport and 2 packages to our shipper, or to ship yesterday. There was this piece inside of me was like, God, please let these fish get there, because it's not only now are you looking to me as an influencer, a good source of information. It's also a business aspect that you put your trust into me to get you a product appropriately. And it's been so much fun to see people share those on Instagram and tag us and how happy they are. And I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Is that Mariddle missing the 3K stream? Mariddle does a lot for me. And I need to find a way to thank that guy, because he's Mariddle, let's be honest here. Mariddle has been moderating for us for a very long time and has been a fantastic support of mine. That kid is so knowledgeable. And I say kid, I don't know. I think now that I'm 30 years old, I can say kid to whoever I want to, right? But it's awesome. Yeah. If he comes in here, definitely give Myrtle a big thank you. And, Sharon moderates for us. We got other moderators in this that I probably don't give enough support to, but it's the friendships and everything else. And like Sharon's so much fun when she gets fired up on the comment I shared out. She got so fired up, and it's so nice to know that I have her as a friend that truly does support me. And all of you here, it's so much fun. It's so much fun. I definitely appreciate it. Jarhead, I agree. Hats off to all our spouses and significant others for letting us do what we do. Definitely do appreciate it. All right. I sneeze like a Sasquatch, scares my wife every time. Nothing wrong with the sounds, you can't help. Okay. So where are we at? Where's my mind at right now? So I'm hoping to rearrange some things in the fish room this weekend. Is that it's I've learned some things. There's two things that I absolutely hate about my fish room now that I've built it, I've done it, I've managed it, I've run it. Run it. Is that even a phrase? I runned it. Not that these two things don't work, because they obviously do, because I've been successful in this fish room. Like it's been really cool to look around and see that I've bred as many fish as I have in a 7x8 room. And last week when I took fish to the waterfront, it was actually like a point of like, I need to make space in the fry system because I had so many fish holding and breeding and different things. Like we're to the point now that it's time I get the Mola crebensis fry out of the tank, but the male back in. I'm expecting, I think I have another first spawn in the fish room. I think I have a holding female for another first spawn. If you saw the red Venezuelan Corys that I posted up on Instagram, I think we're just going to get a spawn from them anytime soon. So I definitely got to make these room and readjust. And one of the things that I really want to change, and I don't like, will never do again, was the air system I built. Now I did go closed loop central air system. It's been awesome. Cory and Co-op was so generous to sponsor me. I'm going to say sponsor because he did send me the air pump they now sell on their website. It's free of charge, to run my fish room. That was very generous of him, and I'll always be grateful for that. But I ran 1/2-inch PVC pipe in an effort to maintain save space, kind of a thing. But what I did is I built closed loops around through the racks. And on every shelf, I ran PVC pipe underneath it and then tapped into that to make smaller runs. And I was like, I'm a genius for doing this. Well, I found out that pushing air into a 1/2-inch PVC pipe, you think like, oh, that's less volume to fill. That's less volume to actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Charge with air. But I didn't think about it that's also less space for the air pump to run at max capacity. And the moment that you open a valve on 1/2-inch, there's so much pressure built up that it's going to escape faster. So it's very difficult to regulate. And it looks kind of cool. Like it is an interesting idea. But as I've been looking at it, though, I really hindered myself. And I realized that when I just watched. So I am a member of Aquarium Co-op. I like the behind the scenes stuff. Part of it is I really enjoy seeing the uncut, the raw versions of different things like that, right? And one of them was he just got done running the air system to his totes and the 15-40 breeders or whatever he's doing. And they're all running off one air pump. And that's the same size. I think it's like practically the same size air pump I have. And that's when I really I realized, I'm like, oh my gosh, like 1/2-inch, I destroyed my capacity with 1/2-inch PVC pipe in the way I ran it, because it's basically it tees off, then it runs to a loop around this rack, it tees off over here, runs to a loop around this rack, tees off over here, runs to another loop around this rack, and then tease off over here to feed these tanks. And I look back on my old fish, we'll call it a fish room, my old fish room, where I ran it from 1-inch PVC pipe to 1.5-inch PVC pipe. And I had so much air available to me on the same size air pump, but I was pumping them into, large, deep tanks and had zero issue. So the one thing I definitely want to change is I just want to build a single closed loop around the ceiling in 1-inch PVC pipe and then make air drops to individual tanks where I need to from there. I think it's going to be a much more successful thing. I will keep some runs of 1/2-inch PVC pipe and connect it to 1-inch just so I don't have to redo it like on the fry system and the egg tumbler tank, because they're already established and it works well for what it is. But like right now on a 20-gallon high tank, I cannot get air to pump to the bottom of it from my closed loop system I have running right now, where previously I had so much air. I was running 3 Zis filters, the Zis bubble biofilters in a 125-gallon tank, and I had plenty of air left over. I think I was running a total of like 10 Zis filters, all which so JP's, that's Justin. So a huge thank you again to let me film that and that kind of thing there too. I will send you a text. Actually, Justin, what I'm talking about is, so I want to rebuild my air system this weekend, and I can do that thanks to all of you. But it's going to be a justification to the wife of like, you're buying more PVC. So I may need some help this weekend, and I want to film it because it's such a good educational opportunity. But it's also that thing of, it's one thing to film it of like, here's the new PVC system, here's what I'm doing. It's another thing to hopefully like film it in a way of, that was cool. Like that was really interesting to watch. So and it's going to be some precarious moments where I've got to kind of jimmy rig pipe over tanks, but that's one thing I really want to do. And I hindered myself. I really hindered myself going 1/2-inch PVC pipe and running it the way I did, because it was let's say watching Aquarium Co-op run that many totes and as deep as they are, plus 15 40-gallon breeders with as much air as he had. I was like, that doesn't make sense. Like how? So then I started thinking about it, and the way I thought about it, and I've experimented with larger PVC pipe at the shop and different things, and I finally came to the conclusion of 1/2-inch PVC pipe. I mean, 1/2-inch PVC pipe versus an inch PVC pipe. If I were to pump water through those pipes, the 1-inch PVC pipe is obviously going to be able to handle more water pressure, more flow. So like that's going to be the same with air. It allows a larger area for air to fill. And then when I tap into it, it's actually taking less air out of it than what's taking out of a 1/2-inch. So I hope I'm going to find a good way to explain it, but I also I hope I can demonstrate on the video I want to make and show you that 1/2-inch PVC pipe was great for size, but it wasn't great for actual operation. The other thing I would like to change is on the back wall of the fish room. I really wish, looking back now, hindsight's 2020, I really wish I did a 6-foot rack back there and either did more 20-gallon longs or all 40 breeders on that back wall. That would have opened up so many options for me. But right now it's not worth it because I'd have to buy a new rack, which is like $150, buy new tanks, which is still expensive, buy all new bulkheads, drill all those tanks. Maybe I crack a tank, so I got to buy another tank. Then I got to run, new drain lines. And that's kind of the third aspect of that is the drain line. The 1-inch drain line has actually worked really well, but I will never do that again. I will always from now on use like a 2-inch drain line just because I know that it's so, again, more space, more water, right? And when you're running a lot of tanks, that's a lot of water going through. So I actually have not run into a problem with my 1-inch drain line. I just wish I did at least a 1.5, but I would really like to push that back wall and change it, but this where I'm potentially listing my house in August, I was like, that's only like 4 months away, so it doesn't make sense to buy these tanks, drill them, and then potentially have them not match up to the next fish room. So the one thing I can change though is the air system. That's a fairly easy change. I can do that in a couple hours and have that running and operational, and to make my current fish room better, because I'm actually adding on a second fry system in a way, and I'm hopefully to teach you about that. So I want the full capacity of my air pump, but I don't want to spend the money right now to rebuild something when I can just make it work for a couple more months and then rebuild it in the way I really want to. Let's see here. Laura, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Congrats, and on to the next 3K. I really appreciate that, Laura. Definitely thank you there so much for that. Let's see here. Yep, we hit 3K. Welcome to the party. Yep, Sharon definitely went to bat for me. It was very, very nice of him. Very nice of her, and I kind of regret sharing that comment out, but at the same time, I don't, right? I'm gonna stand up for myself, but it's also what bothers me is come and attack me. That's fine. Do not go after the person though that was generous enough to let me film their fishing. Like, don't do that. Like, that's, if you don't like it, just move on. Don't. Anyways, okay. 3,000. We're gonna focus on the positive here, right? 3,000 rebuilding air systems. Let's see here. Can never have too much PVC. It's a good thing there. Good thing I know guys willing to help. That's nice, because I'm probably sending you a text. I know. So what do we have here? Yeah, those totes are cool, and it's been fun to watch Cory build his urban fish farm. And Riley is our employee, the waterfront. And I've actually been talking. It's been fun to talk to him about the fish room he's building and his ideas, because like little does he know it, I'm asking him questions and I'm kind of categorizing them for myself of maybe I'll try that. But I think he's got a question in here. Is there pros and cons for open loop versus closed loop? I'm not honestly too familiar with the open loop idea. So the way I can describe this, Riley, and here's my opinion of this. Closed loop. So for those, how do I explain a closed loop? If you literally took PVC pipe and built a square, four corners, pipe in between it, you built the square. Then you add in a side T, plug that to an air pump. When you turn on the air pump, the entire square or a loop is now going to be filled with air. From there, you can tap the PVC pipe with, like, let's say 30 taps, and each tank will get air from that. Now, in my opinion, after running my system to where I wish I had just done one big square around the top of the ceiling, I can confidently say for how many other fish rooms I build, hopefully only one more, I will always from now on do a closed loop system and then make airdrops from that. I think Cory is on the same idea, because I know he ran air pipe down between the totes and then branched off from there. It's still the same concept, but it's 1-inch PVC pipe is the smallest I'll go now for air system. But then I really like the idea of, if you're building it in, now Cory is definitely in a very niche situation, but Riley, like myself and yourself, where we're actually in like a room where we can say, yeah, this is kind of a square-ish room, a closed loop up around the ceiling, I will never go a different route now. I can say the gentleman we bought the Ultimate Angelfish from, he had 2 long rows of tanks, had the pipe came down, teed off, and then teed out and ran across the tops of the tanks. That's what worked for him. But I was looking at it, and I like that having the pipe up off the tanks. There's no issue for back siphoning, anything like that. But it's just out of the way. Now, the video I want to make, I want to show you, I've done the video talking about what air valve you need, but I've never really done a video talking about using them in tandem. So I plan on tapping the PVC pipe with metal valves and then adding a second valve in line where then I can actually dial the air. I'll show you what I mean. But I would say closed loop air system is the best way you can go now. And again, that's my opinion. You try it, experiment. Maybe you'll find something you like. I mean, Cory definitely did something new where he put the air pump on the ground. That was interesting, right? Because we always have seen it in all these fish room tours. It's always up high. Mine's up high. Dean's is up high. Justin, I think Justin, yours is actually on the ground. So there's ways to do it. And like Justin, I think built one big manifold and just ran air off of that. But it's on an actual like fish room. I really regret now that I didn't just build it into the ceiling when I didn't have tanks and racks in the way. Because Justin had the opportunity to see my fish room and he's like, where do you put the camera? And so it's going to be interesting when I'm in there with ladders and like, yeah, I've almost fallen off a step stool before. And I'm thinking to myself, like, this is it. This is how I'm going to die. Like there's no space for me to fall in here without crashing into tanks and glass and fish. And this is it. Like, at least I'm going to go out doing something I love, but like talk about swimming with the fishes for real. So yeah, I would definitely say closed loop for sure. Stefan's coming in, everybody. Just tell Stefan thank you. That is the mastermind behind Waterfront Raised. And he was that guy came off a night shift, met me in the shop, and got the orders ready with me. That's definitely something there. Definitely something there. I can learn all about fish, but fluid dynamics is what will be the death of me designing my systems. But Tiffany, you gotta admit though, like designing the system is almost just as much fun as keeping the system. I think like fish nerds, you get it. Like, hey, what are you doing? Oh, I'm planning my next fish room. You're what? Yeah, I'm planning my next fish room. What are you talking about? Oh, it's a room I dedicated to about 50 tanks, all full of fish. Like, then you get that look of like, what are you talking about? But thinking about like my next fish room, I don't even know what it's going to look like yet, right? Like I have no idea the space I'm going to have, but I've already been thinking about water delivery. How do I get water out in my drilling tanks? How am I going to heat tanks? What filters am I going to use? How am I going to run air systems and stands I'm going to use? And like one thing I want to incorporate is like 160 gallon holding tank for RO water. Okay. Now, if I'm going to incorporate RO water for some very specific fish, like the Ultimate Angel fish, how do I deliver the RO water to that tank? Okay, Fish of Hex has got something like that. Okay, Fish of Hex hooked up a separate external pump. Okay, but he carries around a hose. Okay, so what I don't want to carry around a hose, can I hook up a separate water line and just flip a pump and have it pumped directly to the tank? But is that extra piping? So it's all these things, my mind goes on and on and on. So it's one of those things like it shouldn't keep me up at night, but I do catch myself daydreaming of like, how am I going to do that? I don't even know the space yet. So I can tell you though, after building this fish room, I'm so excited to build the next fish room. It's for the challenges and the excitement that it brings. And I'm sure my wife will tease me if I'll go through 5 different renditions before I get it right. But hopefully we'll do something good there. All right. Okay, so Justin said, yep, on the ground. So it's air pump, but if I redid it, I would do closed loop around the top and run 2 gem coats for how many tanks I will have one day. And that's the other thing I'm curious too is in my head, I am planning on adding a second linear air piston pump. That's what's so cool about those linear piston pumps is you can run them together. And instead of the pumps like working against each other and actually blowing up, they will work in tandem, unison, and just add extra air to it. So at the tank sizes I want and potentially the amount, I am thinking I'm going to do 2 pumps, but it's going to be fun to see if I need 2 pumps and then how I'm going to add 2 pumps. Like watching Aquarius podcast, Randy attach a second pump to his fish room was kind of fascinating. And the reason they did it behind it, and his fish room isn't huge either. So that was really interesting to me that they were adding a second air pump for various reasons. And so that's like what I hope to also accomplish this weekend with the second fry system I want to make, but it's a little different from the first one, a lot different from the first one, actually. I'm hoping I should have enough air. Like there's no reason I shouldn't have enough air, but I am hoping to kind of make my points. And that's the other thing too, is I know I definitely do things different than people, but experimenting is half the fun. You know, and Mountaintop Puffer Keeper says redesigning the system is also fun. that's true. After I watched Cory's video about the air on the members only video, I definitely sat there, and it's where this kept pondering, and it sparked that innovation of how can I fix this? And it kind of was that final, because I've talked about doing it, but my excuse was, well, it works. Like, so what if I have to hook up a second air pump to run this one tank? And it kind of snapped me out of my mindset of like, why would I hook up a second air pump when I already have one that can do the job? I just didn't give it the right tools. Like, that's my fault. Here I am talking about air pumps. Okay. Absolutely. So other Tiffany says, absolutely. I spent a lot of time planning. Then my husband comes along and fixes all my fluid and airflow problems. Yeah, my wife definitely knows more than I give her credit for. That's for sure. Stefan, thank you so much, my man. We hit the 3K tonight. That's super awesome. Joe's coming in saying, congratulations on 3K. I appreciate it. I truly do. Oh, we lost one? I'm still saying we're 3K. I got a picture proving I was at 3K. We are at 2,999 now. But I'm sorry. Here, let me check again. My vision was blurry. We're at 3K. We hit it. We did it. We're not going back. Let's see here. Deborah, I certainly don't have a fish room, but very interesting to know. Anytime you find ways to use less outlets is better to me. And that's a very good point there, Deborah, that's what I'm running into. Like I have 3 USB nano air pumps running right now. And in my mind, I'm like, why? Like, that's 3 outlets. Like, I have strategically placed power strips, but I kept telling myself, like, this is ridiculous. Like, if I've got the pump, I need to do it in a way that's going to work. Is that going to require some frustration and, some effort? Yeah. But it's also like, for $30, I can fix what I need to do with it. So it's kind of one of those things. I just need to do it. So I also really think it's going to help me be more successful in the fish room, because it's one of those things of, if you set up your tanks and equipment to run how they're meant to run, I truly think you will have longer lasting equipment and just better overall health of fish, right? If your filter is running the way it needs to run, it's going to pull out more contaminants and different things. And if I feed a lot, I feed very heavy, so to know I can improve the airflow and the actual water movement in my tanks. Maybe that's what I'm missing on getting my angelfish eggs to hatch. Like, there's all these things about that, right? So I'm really excited and terrified at the same time to rebuild this air system, because it is going to be like, all right, air pumps unplugged, like, go. We got this much time to get this done before the fish suffocate and all those different things. And yeah, it'll be fun. And fish rooms are like, Joe, you say I have 2 tanks and a quarantine tub is more than enough for me to enjoy. That's awesome. That is awesome. It's as long I'm happy that you are getting gratification out of what you have. And that's the thing too, is that us guys on YouTube, right? We go big, so we build fish rooms and do these awesome things, but I also really respect the people. Like, I have a 10-gallon tank and I love it. This is enough for me. I can manage this. I find something new in it every day. And it's fun. It's a good reminder to hear that too, of sometimes more isn't better. All right, so let's see here. Selfish question for me. Let's see. What are the next steps for the multicolored Victoria female I just got from you? She is still holding after adding her to my collection. That's awesome. So I spread out some love, and I sent me and Justin made a trade. So he's got some of my my multicolored Victoria, the Egyptian mouth brooder. So Justin, so the next step is if you have an egg tumbler, you can actually pull those eggs and tumble them in the egg tumbler. If you don't want to go that route, I would suggest something of a breeder box if you have one available. Even like a specimen container would work with a little bit of airflow into it. Give her another week. I think that'll be about 10 to 14 days since you got them from me, which I honestly don't know how long she's holding up until that point, but I think that puts you in a safe enough range that if you choose to pull the fry from her, they will be developed enough that you can add them to a small Tupperware container with like a little bit of airflow, a breeder box, and start feeding them that way. You can also let the female naturally release the fry into the tank, but it depends on the ratio of fry you want to get. I personally like to pull the fry from the female so I can raise them separate, so I can watch the growth. I haven't noticed a lot of predation from them, but I've also never let her spit naturally. I've added fry back to the system to see what would happen, and I definitely think they got either outcompeted or eaten. So it's nice for me, if you don't have an egg tumbler, give them that extra few days to where you can safely pull the fry and let them continue to form in like a Tupperware container. Once they're fully free swimming in that egg soak, the egg sac is fully absorbed, you can start feeding very small foods, powdered foods, baby brine shrimp, crushed up flake food. And then from there, like, they're actually one of the easiest fry to grow that I've had success with. Readily take to flake food, readily take to small pellets. So hopefully that helps you. Yeah, any questions, you got my number. Definitely let me know there. Think I finally got my tank cycled. I have an API master test kit that has a missing nitrite test, so I need to do more tests. Day 4 is 0 parts per million ammonia and nitrate cycled with Fritz turbo starts. That's awesome, Joe. That's awesome. I know you were having a rough time getting that going, I believe, but I am a true believer in the Fritz bacterias. I think they work. They absolutely work. I have a video on them. I've had success with them. And honestly, like in the next fish room, I'm going to have to convince Lewis and Peter to let me buy a case of it so I can jump start on my tanks with it. But don't forget you're saving power. I'm to the point where I'm tripping breakers if I plug in a vacuum in my fish room. That's why I really like having a central air pump and then running to all the tanks. Fortunately, when I built it, we were able to add in a higher breaker amp, whatever my brother did for me. So I'm doing all right on the power side of things, but there is that conscious side of me of, even though this USB nano air pump uses like 2 watts, hey, that's 2 watts I'm not paying for anymore. So it's true though. It definitely is true though, of where you can cut back and save, but still be proficient and efficient. I agree with it. It's definitely a good thing there too. Man, I actually caught up on the chat. That never happens to me. Let's see. Are we did I unoffend somebody? Nope. We're still at 3,000. I'm still going to stick to that number. We're at 2,999 again, but I'm still going to stick to 3,000. It happened. You saw it. I have proof. But all right. So yeah, so that's kind of where we're at right now. Is I'm going to rebuild my air system to make it more efficient for me. I have got some new fish coming in this week, starting a new project. I'm hopefully going to be adding some more fry grow area to the fish room in a very strategic manner. Teach you guys about that. And then if you're looking for new fish, keep checking out the Waterfront Raised. So Stefan, he is my go-to guy. He's helping me run the manage the website, puts up listings for me. So again, if you see something you like, just know that Stefan was a huge part of that. We just added up, or we will be adding up. There's a nice pair of angelfish that are going up on the site, proven breeding pair. We have had we've had spawns from them. Just they ate the eggs, but they're at the shops. We have seen them spawn, and then we also have the group of albino Cory cats that I have shown before. We've decided to sell those on the Waterfront Raise as well. So we've got those going up, and there's 4 or 5 total Cory cats, but they're proven breeding. We have successfully raised a few of the eggs now, so they're going to go on there. So if you're looking for a new breeding project, something you want to add, and we still got things like yellow labs on there. I know we have some beautiful, the big flower horns on there still. Let's go take a gander, shall we? Let's go look at this really quick. All right. So one of the things we're talking about is adding food, like dry goods. They're coming. So we've got some meetings planned out to talk about that kind of a thing there. We got some okays to do some things. We just got to figure out the logistics of it now. So I know I got an email asking about like the assorted Mbuna, what colors they come in. I tried to get the 2 colorations you're going to see. Majority of the Mbuna we have right now that are on the site are going to be a blue. I honestly don't know what type of Mbuna they are, but they're going to be they're ranging hues, shades of blue. And there's also some mixed in there that they get this nice yellow belly, then the kind of black racing stripes going down. So they're really pretty. They actually are a pretty fish. So selling those in packs of 3. So I tried to represent the colors as best I could on there. If you want to raise something out, we just got a big batch of blue Acara fry-in that Lewis is letting us put up on the site. So they're honestly like 1.5 inches right now. Nothing huge. If you want to take advantage of it, you want your own pair of Egyptian mouth brooders, we got some on there. I don't know if they're loaded yet, but I did. We're working on getting there. I'm offering up a pair of my Egyptian mouth brooder species yellow weed picker. It's a newer species to come into the hobby. I just got my first successful spawn from them. So there's an option to get those. I've decided, as much as it breaks my heart, if you're after a beautiful pair of fish, this is the melanistic male golden top minnow with the female that are wild caught from wild fish tanks. We've successfully spawned them. They're on there now. We've got some these festivums. The festivums are beautiful, by the way. So we got some decent stuff on there. We definitely still have some decent stuff available. L33s, beautiful, beautiful fish, absolutely gorgeous fish. Yep, the Perugers went out fast. The last of them are going to Mountaintop Puffer Keeper, actually, so I'm happy he's getting those. Big Carpinus right there. Let's see what else we got here. Like, and if you want to take a gamble too, like, yeah, Lewis put up some beautiful wild-caught discs. Like, that's an expensive fish, but they are gorgeous. And I'm honestly kind of surprised that nobody snagged these yet. So these, they don't look amazing now, but remember the big swordtails I brought back from Idaho. These are the fry. And I unfortunately just lost a female she gave birth to the last drop I just had, and she hemorrhaged. So I don't know where we're going to get more of those, but those are beautiful fish right there. And if you're looking for something fun too, I know, I think Stefan's having a good time breeding up some yellow labs right now. So there's not a ton on here, right? Like, I can honestly, I'm not scrolling through, pages and pages of stuff, and but there's enough. Like, there's enough. We got started with a really good start. I think we're offering up some fun stuff, and the more I'm breeding, the more that it's going to go on the site. I know Stefan's gotten really into breeding lately and some different things there. So we got some fun stuff coming up there. Let's see here. Oh, yes. So my wife is an absolute genius. We didn't know this until we looked into it, that a lot of the power companies, they have peak hours. So at certain times of the day, they're actually going to charge you more for the electricity you use. And it's we adjusted my light schedule in the fish room to work around the peak hours. And we actually, I think it dipped my power bill a little bit. I mean, honestly, you run a fish room, you're going to use power. That's just part of it. But it's one of those little things that don't run during peak hours. And if you call your company, they'll actually tell you what they are. It did save me some money there. Mountaintop Puffer Keeper, thank you so much. Waterfront Raised is excellent. Definitely my first stop now that it is live. I truly, definitely appreciate that. Really do appreciate that, my friend. And we we just got an awesome shipment in from Mountaintop Puffer Keeper. Very excited about it. Lewis is stoked these fish came in all right. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see some up on the site. But yeah, we got it. So thank you. That's a huge compliment. I really do appreciate that. One Dirty Platty. Hello. JP Fish says the temptation is real. Well, the thing here, JP, is you're only down the street from me, so shipping for you is easy. Kidding. Joe, I got some nitrate in my turtle tank. To be honest, I previously had my turtle with feeders in a 20-gallon. So yeah, like I'm glad you're learning. I'm glad your cycle is going well, and you can actually truly enjoy this now, enjoy the hobby more. So I'm happy to hear you are having success there, Joe. That's awesome there. Definitely is. Drop the sub as per request of Rico. And if you haven't, yeah, Rico Stan's a good guy. And it's fun to watch his interviews. And I'm happy I was able to catch it today. So I definitely should definitely go check him out. I want to show those peak hours of the rest of the class. If my wife is still listening, maybe she knows better and remembers better than I do. What was, let me see here. We do a quick Google, kind of give you guys an idea. I know they're later in the afternoon. Utah power peak hours. Okay, so this is my area in Utah. Justin, I imagine you're going to be the same. And honestly, whatever power company you have, they should offer it on their website. It's kind of where I found it through Google. So, for example, in the summer, May through October, on peak hours are 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Okay, that's all day, right? But it's for a fish room. And if I actually want to run, and this is a video I still need to do, and I'll explain here in a second. The winter, November through April, peak hours are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m., which that doesn't sound right, but that's what it's saying. But I can say, though, that's one reason why I semi-switched up the lighting in my fish room to – okay, so I'm going to trust my wife way more than I trust Google. She says 3 to 10. We're 100% going to trust. So if you're in the Utah area or you're on the Rocky Mountain Power grid, 3 to 10, we're definitely going to trust her way more than that. So, yeah, Stefan, you are fine, my man. You've got a lot going on. You do a good job. You do a great job. Stefan is working all hours of the night to get new stuff up on the website for us. But, yeah, so I went from lighting all of the tanks to lighting the room, and I'm excited to share with you that process and how I did it, and really cheap. And I think it does save electricity, you know, going from running 10 lights that are all 10 watts a piece. That's not bad. But then running 2 lights that are, 7 watts a piece and still getting decent results. It's one of those things, again, like in the next fish room, it's one of those things I want to incorporate is, lighting. Again, it's being efficient, right? It's maybe I'll have lights run over all the tanks for those times that I'm working in the tanks and need to see what I'm doing. But those will kind of be on when I want them on, not on all the time. But then the room will be lit to provide a cycle for the fish. But I think it's just going to be, it's one of those things that's hard to explain. So I definitely hope the video I have on it comes across decent, right? But yes. Anyways, going off on a tangent now. All right, everybody, we are coming up on the hour 15 mark. I will maybe run for a few more minutes here. We're coming up on that 8:30 mark. Usually I put my daughter to bed. Man, I'm struggling to talk right now. So whatever, if you got some final few questions, maybe drop in the chat here. We'll go for a few more minutes. We got over 30 people watching. That's awesome. I'm glad to have all of you here. We're back to 3,000. All right, I can sleep peacefully now. But yeah, if you got some last few questions, comments, emotional outbursts, let me know. We'll go for a few more minutes, see what I can answer here. See, Patrick, do you have any types of Endlers? I do. Let's see here. And talking things going up. Gas is around $1.05 per gallon, around $2.99 to $3.25 per gallon here in Houston. Yet we are about the same as you there here in Utah. I think we went under $2 for a bit, which is kind of rare for us now. But now we just jumped up like 325, 326 today too. It's nuts. It is definitely nuts. But yes, so I have, to answer your question, I have the Blue Star Endler, and it came from a beautiful line where some of the males actually develop a double sword. I think I lost my original male, but he had the beautiful long dorsal fin, double swordtail, really pretty Endler, and they've bred very prolifically for me. We've done really good at selling them through the waterfront. We've had a lot of people actually like them. So I've been looking into other Endler types. They are a fun fish to keep. And I'm breeding tons in a 10-gallon tank with some floating plants in there and do really well at it. So I would eventually like to get some up on waterfrontraised.com. But Endlers are fun. I've really been intrigued lately with the Santa Maria Endler. I just can't justify yet spending the money on like a pair. It's always a risk doing a pair, but it's a beautiful fish there. And the Swordtails, though, have really been catching my mind as of late, or my eye and my mind, and what I want to do with them. But I think I plan on keeping the Blue Star Endlers in the next fish room because they're so easy. I mean, 10-gallon tank, and I've sold off over 50 pairs. So I've actually given a good group to a local subscriber of mine too. So they're prolific, easy to raise, and if you find a good strain, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. So I know Wild Fish Tanks has some really pretty strains. So I'm kind of hoping one day his Santa Maria Endlers will be available. So we'll see what we can do there. But there's a few Endler species I'd like to get again. I know somebody reached out to me actually, and we need to potentially work out some shipping with them. I sent her out some wild type Endlers, and they've bred really well for it. And they are beautiful, like green, orange coloration. So we've talked about bringing some back for the waterfront raised purposes. So we can do there. Knocked down a few trees up here for wildland safety, and Starlink signal improved. Bonus is more natural light in the fish room downstairs. No peak charge for sunlight. That is very true. Very true. I have 0 windows in my fish room. So if I get trapped in there, I'm in trouble. Let's see here. Have I seen the vampire swordtails? I have not. Vampire swordtails. Let's go do a quick Google search. Vampire swordtails. What is this? Well, those are cool. Things are pulling up in orange for me. So double sword, the leer tail kind of thing with the huge high fin. There's actually somebody on Aquabid right now offering fry that's very similar to that. Call it like the king tail or something. But a lot of those things are catching my attention right now. And that double sword on a swordtail, looks so good. Looks so good. I really want to find a swordtail that has the big dorsal fin, but instead of being like the high fin, I think they call it like a cauliflower or something, where it's a long dorsal, but it like lays down on the body and flows in the water. Really, really pretty fish. I like those El Tigre Endlers, and I can't find any females. El Tigre. Patrick, check out Aquabid as well as Wild Fish Tanks. I think I've seen El Tigre somewhere on one of those. It's probably going to be it'd be expensive maybe, because I know, because the El Tigres are really pretty too. I think on Aquabid there's some right now, and I think they're offering me in pairs, but I think also Wild Fish Tanks may have something available too. You may be able to find some good ones there for you. Let's see. What are your thoughts on crossbreeding Endlers and Guppy? I think it's cool. I got nothing wrong with it. Knocking my headphones off. I'm not a purist kind of guy where it's, if you do it, like, shame on you. I think it would be interesting to see him crossed. I think you could come up with some really cool stuff. Personally, am I going to do it? Not yet, because I'm just not interested in it, right? Like right now, I'm more of like, I want to Starlink signal. I want I want to play with like Swordtail strains. So I've been considering taking my wild type X Helleri Swordtail and crossing it with my female albino Kohaku Swordtail. But I say I'm not a purist guy, but I'm struggling with that idea because right now my pair of albino Kohaku Swordtails are breeding true. So, but it would be interesting. I think it's interesting to cross fish, like see what comes out of it, because I know that's where Guppies and Endlers, one of the strains started somewhere, got crossed somewhere, and then they just went off to these different color variations. So it's, I don't have a problem with it. You know, if you came to me and said, I'm selling you this pink flamingo rocket ship Endler, I'm going to start questioning where you came up with the name. But I think there's some pretty cool crosses you can do with strains. I mean, that's how we get places, right? Keep the lines pure. You've angered Justin. Do you or anyone know anything about the Vienna guppies? The history. I know Aquarium Co-op have them, but don't sell online. My knowledge of the history is he went to the Guppy Association, like the World Guppy Association contest, and at the show, he found the Vienna guppies and actually imported them into the United States. So he actually paid the money to buy them and then ship them from like Vienna to Washington. So I think that's where the name Vienna guppy came from. I think they were already being called that, but then when he got here, it just made sense to say these are the Vienna guppies. So I that's my knowledge of them, is he actually imported them from there to here, bred them, now has them, and that's actually like Fish Boy has them, does ship. I've looked into buying some from him. He doesn't have any available. And like, talk about a guy that started a YouTube channel and took off with success. Like, that dude gets so many views. He's doing something right. Maybe it's because of the fact he doesn't show his face and have an ugly mug. I don't know. But I was debating, and me and my wife have talked about doing another trip up to Washington, to Aquarium Co-op, actually, because it's just a fun place to go. And I wanted to go to like look at the black angelfish that I know Randy breeds, but I was also slightly in the back of my mind, like, maybe I can get my hands on some Vienna guppies. Like, that'd be cool. So that's my knowledge of the history of them, is that they came from like the World Championship. He bought them there, imported them back here, cost a lot of money, and now has them. So, but I almost don't, I don't know. Yes, does not sell online. That's definitely for sure. But they're pretty. Guppy Guru's also got one. He calls it's the Czech guppy, I think he calls it. Absolutely stunning. Like, there's been a few guppies where I'm actually like, oh my gosh, like that thing is awesome. I mean, I'm sorry, like the big Dumbo ears and stuff, like they're pretty, but they just don't do it for me. When I see something like the Czech guppy, the Vienna guppy, I'm like, that's a pretty fish. Like I ran across what they call a blue leopard Endler, and you've seen them. Like, I think they call him the tiger Endler, kind of that fluorescent green and black, but the belly was blue. And I was thinking to myself, like, that breeds true. Like, that's actually a really pretty color combination. So there's definitely some things there. Can I get some from Aquarium Co-op? If I drive there, that would be my way to get them, is if I drive up there and they had some in store and I was able to get some. So do I have a contact to Cory? Yes. But I will never use it for, how do I put that? Let me say this. After my last live stream where I talked about the hardest thing about being on YouTube, fortunately, Cory was actually in that live stream. It was really nice of him that he emailed me and gave me some guidance, gave me some pointers, which I have implemented, and it's been a very positive change for me on the channel. I have reached out to Cory for some advice on some things, but I will never use it in a way to say, hey, because you've been nice to me and helped me grow my channel, can you personally set aside some Vienna guppies for me? It's in my mind, that's actually very immoral, because you don't have the access that I would, and therefore it makes it immoral in my mind. Now you're saying to yourself, like, okay, so then how does it work where, sorry, Justin, your name's coming up. Justin lives 10 minutes away from me. So it works that I was able to give him a pair of Egyptian mouth brooders because he lives close. We were able to work that out. But I don't know how to say, like, it feels wrong to go to Cory and say, hey, because I kind of know you, can I get your fish? Right? Now it's different of if he came to me and said, hey, will you breed these? Will you breed these so they're available in your area? Yeah, sure, cool. Now, if I drove up there, I have no issue. I'll drive up there, buy as many as I can, bring them home, breed them up, and Patrick can say, hey, can you ship me some Vienna guppies? I'll go, absolutely I can, because I ship. That's the decision I made. So we'll see. Maybe there's a maybe there's something I can do there. So Patrick, Trevor is talking. So Trevor's talking about some guppies we have on the Waterfront Raised website. I think they're called, what are we calling them? Trust and Guppy Guru, that he gave us his guppy expertise name on them. Let me show you here really quick. We're getting close to wrapping up here, but all right. So you can find them. Right here. So Guppy Guru told us these are the half black leopards. That's what he's calling them. I think it has to do with the spotting on the tail. They're pretty fish. I can appreciate them. So that's two females there. This is one of the males that's in the group. So I take pictures of actual fish that you could receive. We had a couple trios available, and it was something like Stefan, thank you so much. Stefan has got some new things up on the website. So, for example, these albino Cory cat. This is a true breeding group. That's the fish you'll get. Where, Stefan, I really appreciate you. Thank you very much, my man. That's very, very kind of you to work that fast. Thank you. Coming down to the trios, so I think I pulled out like 3 or 4 trios. So this may not be the exact trio you get, but all of them share the very similar characteristics, very similar coloration, and that's the particular guppy that Trevor just ordered from us. So hopefully that helps you. All right, let's check back in the chat here really quick. Yeah, the koi tuxedos are beautiful. Absolutely, they are. Let's see. So hopefully that answers that. But yeah, like there is fish that I'm still willing to drive to go get. And that's one thing too, that in this out-of-state fish room tour that I'm very beginning stages of planning, part of it is, do I make it a weekend trip? I think there's a store out that way I would like to go check out. It's also, I want to, when it gets finalized, I'll let you know, because if I'm passing through your way and I can bring you something, I absolutely will. Maybe there's something you have I'm interested. Like there's always things of this nature that I want to definitely keep there. But we're coming up on the hour-and-a-half mark. I think it's gonna be my cutoff point for the night. Definitely want to go spend some time with the kid before she goes to bed. So I know tonight was not our regular stream night. So next week I'll be back on Monday between 7 and 7:15 p.m. That's kind of when I'm able to do it. But I spent some time with my daughter last night, and then I'm here tonight. So everybody, thank you so much. This was a fun stream. 3,000 subscribers, everybody. We did it. You did it. All of you make this possible. Rad trip to Washington. I say there's fish up there, man. There are fish up there that are worth it. Now, people are going to say, like, guppies are worth the 16-hour drive one way. Those guppies are worth it. So maybe we'll figure something out, Stefan. But thank you for your support on Waterfront Raised. It has been phenomenal starting this. Thank you for your support and getting to 3,000 subscribers. Thank you for letting me do what I love to do, and hopefully I can continue to bring you solid information and enjoyable content to watch. I truly, truly appreciate it. Rickistan, I appreciate you, my friend. I really do appreciate you, and I would be honored to be on your live stream. So all of you are fantastic. Carrie, I appreciate it. You've been a long time. So many of you have been such a long time supporter of me. We've made so many new faces and so many new friends. I really, really appreciate it. So everybody, have a good night. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your questions, your time, the celebration, everything. We will definitely see you Friday with another video. Hopefully I can get my gears together and edit out the lighting video the way I want it to be edited. We think we're going to work on the fishing this weekend. I think we're going to see some new face in the fishing this weekend and get some things going. So thank you for all the congratulations. Everybody stay safe. Enjoy your fish. Have a good night. Keep your tanks well done. I love you 3000, and we will definitely see you guys in the next one.